I still remember the smell of charcoal smoke hanging in the air that afternoon, the sizzle of burgers on the grill, kids running barefoot across the grass, laughter echoing from every corner of the backyard. It was supposed to be just another family barbecue, one of those sunny Sundays where everyone pretends everything's perfect. But for me, it never really was. My name is Elena. I'm the quiet one in the family, always have been. While my older sister Mia lit up every room with her loud stories and perfect smile, I stayed in the background, nodding, smiling, keeping the peace. She was the golden child, married to a handsome Navy SEAL named Ryan, 2 beautiful kids, a big house, the whole picture-perfect life. And me, I was just Elena, the single one, the one who never quite figured it out, as Mia liked to say with that little laugh that cut deeper than she probably realized. That day started like all the others. I showed up early to help Mom set up, carrying trays, arranging chairs, staying out of the way. Mia arrived fashionably late, of course, in her white sundress and designer sunglasses, already holding court. She hugged everyone except me, just a quick air kiss near my cheek and that familiar smirk. "Still flying solo, sis?" she teased, loud enough for the cousins to chuckle. "Don't worry, there's still time. Maybe." I forced a smile. I always did. But inside, something tightened. It wasn't new. The mocking had been going on for years. Little jabs about my job, my quiet life, my boring choices. She never asked about my work, never really listened when I tried to share, and perfect smile. I stayed in the background, nodding, smiling, keeping the peace. She was the golden child, married to a handsome Navy SEAL named Ryan, 2 beautiful kids, a big house, the whole picture-perfect life. And me, I was just Elena, the single one, the one who never quite figured it out, as Mia liked to say with that little laugh that cut deeper than she probably realized. That day started like all the others. I showed up early to help Mom set up, carrying trays, arranging chairs, staying out of the way. Mia arrived fashionably late, of course, in her white sundress and designer sunglasses, already holding court. She hugged everyone except me, just a quick air kiss near my cheek and that familiar smirk. "Still flying solo, sis?" she teased, loud enough for the cousins to chuckle. "Don't worry, there's still time. Maybe." I forced a smile. I always did. But inside, something tightened. It wasn't new. The mocking had been going on for years. Little jabs about my job, my quiet life, my boring choices. She never asked about my work, never really listened when I tried to share. To her, I was still the little sister who needed fixing. As the afternoon wore on, the drinks flowed, the music got louder, and Mia's comments grew sharper. She started in on my outfit. "Did you borrow that from Mom's closet?" Then moved to my lack of kids, my apartment, my mysterious career she never bothered to understand. Everyone laughed along. Even Ryan gave a polite chuckle, though I noticed his eyes flick toward me once or twice, curious. I stood by the grill, flipping burgers no one asked me to flip, feeling smaller with every word. My chest ached, that old familiar ache of being invisible in your own family. I wanted to disappear. But then my phone buzzed in my pocket, a secure line. I stepped away from the crowd, toward the side of the house where the noise faded a little. "Hey, it's Ghost," I answered quietly, using the voice I reserved for work. "Go ahead." The voice on the other end was clipped, urgent. Ghost, we've got a situation. Need your sit rep on the asset transfer. Call sign confirmed? I glanced back at the party. No one was paying attention. Affirmative. Ghost actual. Standing by for details. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. Heavy ones. I turned. Ryan was standing there, frozen mid-step, eyes wide. His beer bottle hung forgotten in his hand. He stared at me like he'd just seen a ghost. Ryan didn't say anything at first. He just stared. Then slowly he lowered the bottle. "Ghost?" he whispered, almost to himself. "Your call sign is Ghost?" I ended the call quickly, slipped the phone back into my pocket. My heart was pounding, not from fear, but from the sudden shift in the air. "Ryan, it's not what you think." But it was exactly what he thought. He stepped closer, voice low so no one else could hear. "I've heard that call sign before. In briefings, high-level ops. Ghost is... You're not just Navy. You're special warfare support. Intelligence. The kind we don't talk about." I didn't deny it. What was the point? For years I'd kept it buried. Not because I was ashamed, because it was classified. Because family didn't need to know the nights I spent in windowless rooms analyzing threats, or the times I deployed undercover, or the weight I carried so they could sleep soundly in their beds. I chose silence to protect them, to protect this very barbecue. But Mia? Mia had never once asked. Never once cared enough to wonder why I traveled so much, why I couldn't always talk about my day, why I came home quieter than when I left. She just mocked, assumed, diminished. Ryan looked back toward the yard where Mia was now telling a story, arms waving, everyone hanging on her every word. His jaw tightened. "She doesn't know, does she?" "No," I said softly. "No one does." He exhaled hard, like something heavy had just landed on him. "All this time, she's been tearing you down, in front of everyone, and you've been carrying this." Tears stung my eyes, not from anger, but from the exhaustion of holding it all in. I didn't want to throw it in anyone's face. I just wanted to be her sister, not her competition. Ryan shook his head slowly. "She crossed a line today, more than once." We walked back toward the group together. Not fast, not dramatic, just steady. Mia spotted us and grinned, raising her glass. "There's my handsome husband. And, Elena, did you finally decide to join the fun?" The laughter rippled again, but this time Ryan didn't smile. He stopped right in front of her, voice calm but carrying across the yard. "Mia," he said, "you've spent the last hour making fun of your sister, mocking her life, her choices, everything." Mia rolled her eyes playfully. "Oh, come on, babe, it's just teasing. She knows I love her." Ryan didn't flinch. "Do you? Because if you did, you'd know she's been serving this country at a level most people can't even imagine. Her call sign is Ghost. She's the reason guys like me come home safe. And you've been treating her like she's nothing." The yard went quiet, really quiet. No music, no kids laughing, just the crackle of the grill and the wind in the trees. Mia's face changed, first confusion, then disbelief, then something like shame. What are you talking about?" I stepped forward then. For the first time in years, I didn't shrink. "I'm Navy intelligence, Mia. Special operations support. I don't talk about it because I can't, but I've been doing it for 12 years. While you were planning weddings and posting perfect pictures, I was making sure threats never reached our shores." Her mouth opened, closed. No quick comeback.
The rest of the afternoon unfolded slowly, like a wave pulling back before it crashes. People started asking questions, quietly at first, then more. Cousins I hadn't spoken to in years came up to me, eyes wide with respect. Mom cried. Happy tears, proud tears. Dad just hugged me tight and whispered, I always knew you were special, kid. Mia didn't speak much after that. She sat on the edge of a lawn chair staring at her hands. When the sun started to dip, she walked over to me. Alone. I didn't know, she said, voice small. I thought you were just quiet because you had nothing going on. I was wrong. I was cruel.